What's going on, guys? It's Adonis. We are here for the top 15 episodes, my top 15 favorite episodes of 2017 of Dragon Ball Super. Let's get into the countdown. Now, if you guys are fans of Dragon Ball Super, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you have notifications turned on so you don't miss any future content. Now, before we get into it, huge shout out to all the patrons that have subscribed on Patreon. I appreciate you guys so much. We have some crazy things coming next year, and I'm so glad you guys are on board. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check out the Patreon page. Yeah, boy. Now, at first I wanted to do a top 10 list, but then I quickly realized that there was more than 10 episodes that I was like, I need to put this on this list, and it became extremely difficult to do. So I narrowed it down to top 15. Now, there are other episodes that I was like, damn, I could have put this in there as well. Some of the higher episodes above 10, there was parts of the episodes that I really enjoyed. Most of everything in 10 and below, going towards the number 1 episode, is primarily the entire episode. So let's get into it. So number 15 is episode 102. And this one is The Power of Love Explodes. This is when Universe 2 is first introduced into the Tournament of Power. The first time we've seen any of them transform Ribrianne's annoying ass. Now, the reason why I love this episode so much is not even about Ribrianne. It's specifically about Android 17. Now, the reason why is the last time we saw 17 fight was actually when Goku was recruiting him. This was the first time we saw him fight seriously or semi-serious in the Tournament of Power. And just the part where he gets knocked back and he's like, okay, I guess I'll be serious. And then he just starts wrecking shop. I thought it was so fly. Now, number 14 is episode 112. Now, this episode title was A Saiyan's Vow, Vegeta's Resolution. Now, in this episode, we had a couple really big moments. We had Kaba going Super Saiyan 2 for the first time, helped by Vegeta when he kind of told him like, look, man, because he almost got knocked out of the ring. And Vegeta's like, you ain't going nowhere, threw his ass back. And then Vegeta ended up fighting Topo. That's when he actually started the fight with Topo. That was pretty fly. The whole second fiddle part was so funny. And then when we see Kaba fight Frieza, that was so savage, especially when he does the Gallic Gun. It was like Universe 6 Vegeta versus Frieza. So dope. I love that little segment. And a little side note, I feel like Frieza has become one of my favorite characters in the Tournament of Power. Let me know you guys' thoughts around that. I just think because he's still him, they didn't make him a hero. Like, he's still super conniving and just has that, you know, he's gonna backstab you, just don't know how he's gonna do it yet. I love Frieza in this tournament. Such a great addition. Now, number 13 is actually episode 82. Now, I know it sounds way far back, but it actually aired this year. And the title is The Righteous Warrior Topo Bursts In. And this is actually during the exhibition match after Goku defeats the Trio de Dangers, and Topo jumps in and challenges Goku. This is the first time we've seen any of the Pride Troopers. First time we hear about Jiren. Really cool episode. Now, number 12 is episode 86. And this is Trading Blows for the first time, Android 17 versus Son Goku. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember very vividly the first time I saw this, I was so hype. Like, the hype was beyond real. One, seeing Android 17 finally get to fight with Goku because he never had the chance in the Android arc. But two, seeing how he's been training this entire time. He's an android, so he doesn't experience fatigue, so he can train with no fatigue and just keep getting stronger and faster over the years. He doesn't have to recover. That's incredible. So I just thought it was such a dope performance between the two of them. The animation was awesome. And 17 just such a badass. Like, that was just like that moment where you're like, I forgot Android 17 was a beast. So number 11 is the first of the duo episodes that I'm gonna have in this list. And what I mean by duo episodes is a episode that kind of spans 2 episodes. So almost completes a episode arc, but it's separated over 2. And this is episode 94 and 95. And I'm gonna read this because they're kind of long. The Ember of Evil returns, a reception of mysterious assassins, and the worst, the most evil, Frieza's rampage. These 2 episodes were so sick. Now, when Frieza gets brought back, the punch exchange between him and Goku was so hilarious, but you can see that he does not like Goku at all. And like, it's apparent. But then we learn of the true golden form, and that transformation sequence they still use. Ever since that one transformation, anytime he goes into golden form on scene, the transformation sequence is the same sequence from that episode. And it was just a sick transformation sequence. And just to see this dude slay these assassins that he did, or how he did it, it was super dope. Not to mention him getting hit by the God of Destruction energy and then condensing it, controlling it, then giving it to Goku. Like, those 2 episodes were so fly. All right, we're finally into our top 10, and it's even. Episode 100, Out of Control, the Savage Berserker Awakens. So the reason why this episode, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I wasn't really feeling Kale. She was a knockoff of Broly, blah, blah. And yes, she was a canonization, if that's a correct word, of Broly. We all know Broly was not technically canon in the Dragon Ball Z story. They consider the movies kind of an offshoot, like an additional world or universe. So they don't really exist in canon. So that was like their introduction to Broly, but with Kale. Now, regardless of that, 1, the animation episode was awesome. 2, the callbacks to the Broly movie I absolutely loved. Regardless of the scaling and, people saying, oh, well, how is she fighting against Super Saiyan Blue, whatever, that can be for another episode. I thought it made complete sense. I thought that Goku was completely downplaying his energy. He just wanted to bring his energy up higher than hers. Because the entire time she was throwing stuff around, beating him up and stuff like that, and he took 0 damage. So regardless of the fact, doesn't really matter. But the other part of this episode wasn't necessarily just her. It was the fact that it's the first time we saw Jiren attack. Now remember, because Kale couldn't control the Berserker form, her energy was just going rampant. It was overflowing out of her body, exactly like Broly's, and people were getting terrified, almost probably eliminated from the stage. Universe 11 was low-key shook, and then Jiren's jumped down, was like, I'm gonna take care of this, and handled it with 1 attack. And people saw like, oh shit, like this dude is serious. So number 9 is episode 104. The title is The Ultimate High-Speed Battle Begins. Goku and Hit join forces. Now, obviously, such a cool episode seeing Hit and Goku team up. First time we've seen Super Saiyan God since the Battle of Gods arc, or the movie, whatever you want to call it. And they also took some things from the manga, how Goku and Vegeta in the manga switched between red and blue to save stamina and speed. So thought it was really awesome that they did that in that episode. And also just showcasing Hit's experience. Number 8 is episode 105, A Desperate Battle, Master Roshi's Sacrifice. Remember, this is the episode he took 3 people from Universe 4 completely out of the tournament. Master Roshi was beastie, and he was fighting that giant big bird looking clown. I keep forgetting his name, doesn't really matter. He's a snitch from Universe 4. Anyways, it was just so dope when he transformed and Roshi was still clowning this guy. He was like, how can I hit him? I'm faster and stronger. And he was like, yeah, you are. He was like, but I got more experience. Like, just so dope. Like, Roshi was so beastie in that episode. And I felt that was really one of those episodes, too, that had a lot of emotional weight to it, since he, at the end, kind of exhausted his entire life force with the Kamehameha to knock that Big Bird character off the stage. And you hear Krillin's yell for Goku because Roshi's about to die. Goku goes over there, tries to revive him. Like, that moment had a lot of emotional weight to it. Number 7. This is the only pre-tournament episode that is on this list. Episode 90, Facing a Wall That Needs to Be Overcome, Goku versus Gohan. What do you say? What hasn't been said about this episode already? Super dope. Like, we've been wanting to see Gohan get back on the horse, so to speak. And he comes in and does his thing. And it was just so dope to see him actually fight with Goku. And he was like, look, I need you to fight me at 100%. And a lot of it, for me, how I interpret it was he needed to know what it was like to fight somebody that powerful. And would he still be able to put up a fight? I don't think it was him saying, you're not on my level yet until you go full power. I think it's more so of him saying, look, I need to see what it's like because there's probably going to be fighters in these other universes that are on your level or possibly stronger, and I need to know where I stand. And I thought that that's what I got from it anyways. I love the episode, though. The team up with him and Piccolo, but not to mention that Gohan and Goku fight was so beastie. Like, it was just such a dope episode. I love the part when Gohan was attacking Goku at the final when he had Kaioken times 20 on, and you see Vegeta just kind of smirk like, he's back. I just thought it was such a dope episode. Now, number 6 is episode 107, and it's Revenge F. Roshi versus Frost. This was so crazy because of, one, the Mafuba, which was so dope that he tried on Frost. Frost freaked out, and then he did it again, and then Frost shoots the beam over at Vegeta, and Vegeta's like, boy, are you serious? You want this? You don't want this. You don't want this. And that just began the craziest sequence. Obviously, he reverses the Mafuba on Vegeta, traps him in the bottle, then Roshi with his little controlled beam breaks the bottle. Vegeta blows out of that. Frost takes off like a Benite. And then obviously he's like, look, man, it's time to retire, Roshi. You did well. Leave the rest to me. I just thought that episode was so fly. And one of the other big moments, obviously, is Jiren with his ridiculous Saitama-like attack, just with the force of his fist, wiping the hair gel guy, Captain Hair Gel, from Universe 3. Thought it was so dope. So we finally made it to our top 5, episode 118, Accelerated Tragedy, Vanishing Universes. And this is when Universe 2 and Universe 6 both get eliminated. You see the gravity heart that Universe 2 throws down on the 2 androids and Goku. We see Gohan and Piccolo versus the Namekians from Universe 6. Such a heavy episode emotionally, especially when Universe 6 gets eliminated and you see Beerus standing there with Champa. There's a lot of emotional weight there, but just the sequences that you saw, the fights between the Namekians and Gohan and Piccolo, super dope. Goku shooting a Kamehameha and handling a black hole like a boss, just sick. Then we see a dual father-son Kamehameha. It was just a dope episode, super fly. Now, number 4, episode 111. Oh my God. Hit versus Jiren. Guys, I was so hyped. I was so hyped, especially coming off the special. Hit versus Jiren? Guys, we saw Hit do a crazy time skip technique on Jiren, and Jiren breaks through time? What? It was nuts. Like, that was just crazy, seeing Hit just be completely overpowered. And you saw what Hit did with Goku, Kaioken times 20, them going back and forth. Even when he came to assassinate Goku, they're still on par. Guys, like, Hit just, I mean, he did what he could. He did what he could. Got a sneak attack in on him, and then he couldn't, man. He just couldn't. He couldn't. Number 3, guys, episode 108, Frieza and Frost conjoined malice. Now, some of you are probably like, how is that your top 3? And I'll explain. A lot of us had thought, like, okay, something's gonna go down with Frieza and Frost, especially when you saw them talk at the beginning of the series. This was just one of those twists that just threw us for a loop. We're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What is he gonna do with Frost? Is he gonna take out Gohan? Like, every person that does predictions on Dragon Ball Super got it wrong. Every person from jump. Like, that was just one of those things that nobody got right. But 2, we had Gohan versus the Yardrat. The Yardrat was giving Gohan the business, just taking him out. Frieza pops up, then watches, and then interrupts, and then destroys him. Like, he was like, oh, now they know, I know you use instant transmission. It's just child's play. I got you. Instant transmission behind him, gets hit with the tail. Like, wrecks this Yardrat out of line. Death beams like multiple holes in him. They're like, he killed him. He's like, do I look like an amateur? Like, do you think this is what I'm gonna do? No. What if now if he dies after he falls out of the ring, then I ain't got nothing to do with that. But he's still alive and I'm about to kick his ass out of the ring. Thought that was fly. Then the whole faux fight against Gohan, golden form versus ultimate form. Like, so sick. That was a fake fight, but it was genius how it was set up. To then set Frost up to teach him how to do the 100% final form, to then blow him off the stage. And then Frost freaks out and then gets eliminated, erased completely from existence because he was trying to attack Frieza after he was eliminated. Like, that episode was crazy. So many layers, so many layers. Such a good episode. Now, number 2 is a dual episode, episode 115 and 116. I'm gonna read the titles to you. Goku versus Kefla, Super Saiyan Blue defeated. In episode 116, the sign of a comeback, Ultra Instinct's huge explosion. Now, these 2 episodes, one, animation was on point, loved it. We saw Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken versus a fused Kale and Caulifla, which is Super Saiyan at this point. Find out some scaling things were different from what we thought they were going to be, and that's based off of what Champa was saying. He was like, oh, I didn't know the multiplier was going to be that much. It was more than I thought, but awesome. But the fight was just so dope between them. And then we see Goku go Ultra Instinct at the end of 115, just knocks the blasts away. We see him in a more controlled form in 116 with some of the sickest animation that we've seen in the series, like unreal animation, and probably the sickest Kamehameha we've probably seen in Dragon Ball Super, period. At least in my opinion. I thought that was so clever. Like the whole energy wave surf with the Kamehameha, are you serious? Boy, crazy. If my reaction was still up, you guys would see that, but it got taken down by Toei. But it's probably floating around Facebook somewhere. I was like on some viral video that went around with a lot of other reactors to that. But yeah. Now, number one, you guys already know what it is. Episode 109 and 110, the Dragon Ball Super Special. We already know what time it is. Seeing Goku finally fight Jiren for the first time, go through all his forms, and Jiren just taking it like, bro, finally gets to God, and he's just finger fucking this dude like, nope, nope. Nope. And then takes on Super Saiyan Blue, actually starts having a serious fight, at least you think, and then Jiren's like, no, get out of my way with that, and he goes Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20, and Krillin's like, look, he can still do times 20, and they're like, no, boy, he's been doing that, and he's like, oh, no, like, just craziness. Drops back down, Spirit Bomb, and this dude is like, yeah, I'll wait. Yeah, give it to me. Like, Jiren was such a beast in 109, like ridiculous. But then it happened, guys. Then it happened in the middle of episode 110 after the Spirit Bomb goes. Guys, Ultra Instinct happened with the crazy animation. Oh my God. Which is coming January 7th. If you guys are unfamiliar, episode 122. Oh boy, that's the same animator. Take it. Is it Yuya Takahashi? Did I just make that up? And the music was just crazy. The animation was unreal. Probably one of my most favorite animated episodes out of Dragon Ball history, period. And then just the craziness of the fight. Like, it was just so badass. Like, so crazy. We've never seen anything like that in Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball, period. Right? We've always heard Whis do it and we saw him do it, but we didn't really see any of our characters do it and what that drastic of a difference would be from somebody that looks like Goku and see how he fights. And now you see him fight like this. You're like, oh shit, that doesn't look like Goku. Not to mention he looks super badass. But that's gonna do it for my top 15 episodes of 2017 of Dragon Ball Super. But I wanna know your guys's. What's your top 15? It'll leave some episodes out where you're like, boy, how is this not in there? Let me know in the comment section down below your list. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you guys are subscribed, have that notification bell turned on so you don't miss any future content. Also, make sure you guys check out that Patreon page so you don't miss any of those giveaway tiers, because stuff's gonna be live going next year. So you wanna make sure you guys don't forget this stuff, because boy, we got some things coming. But if you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up button, show your boy some love. And if you want to check out my latest videos, the links will be right here to the side. All right, guys, till next time. See you later.